Hello everybody and welcome to week 15. I'm here, Christine Hinks, and I am here with, sorry about that everybody. Start over again. Welcome to week 15. I'm Christine Hinks here with Dave Hall, owner of Cellercise. And this week we're going to spend some time talking about what the Cellerciser can do for the brain. And before that, last week I was glowing on the screen, and I apologize to everybody, and unfortunately I probably did not wear the right color today. So if you'll take a minute and let me know how it looks on your screen and if I seem to be glowing. And if not, we'll go ahead. Let us know who's here. Let me step up here a little bit. Hi, Jenny.
If it looks good, give her a thumbs up.
Hi, Donna. Yeah, give me some thumbs up. Hi, Carrie. Welcome for joining us. We've got Abigail. Hi from Ohio. Okay, we're looking good. Angelina, do I look like I'm glowing? You'll tell me the honest. How about Vitor?
Hello, Vitor.
They'll tell us if I'm glowing. Oh, and okay, wrong kind of glowing. Is it a good glowing or it's not the dress. Last time the papers were glowing, and I felt really bad about that. We're so glad to have everybody here, and we are so grateful for the Cellercise family that we have. I spent some time out there watching what's going on the Facebook page, and I love the community and the support that's going on out there. It's absolutely fantastic. Okay, hi Christina, thanks for joining us. We've got Mary here with us. Hi Pat, we're so glad that you're here. Oh, and it looks like Pat and Ron are here together. Hi Glenda, we're glad you're here. I'm going to turn some time over while we have a few more people showing up.
Okay, good.
And turn the time over to you for some testimonials.
Thank you, Christine. And welcome, everybody. I hope you've been enjoying your Cellerciser and sharing it with other people. You know, this is a movement that we've been working on for a very long time. And honestly, it's the Cellercise family that's making it a success. It's gaining momentum. We're being recognized more and more in the health industry. We're getting more media attention. I had a gentleman from Florida call me up who's a professional golf and golf trainer. And we're talking about what we can do because Cellercise can help improve a golf swing. And so we've got a lot of industries and a lot of opportunity to get this message out there. For people that have been having knee problems, hip problems, back problems, shoulder problems, I hope you've been reviewing some of the other programs that we've done on Facebook Live. We've recorded them for you so that you can have access to those. And again, feel free to write us anytime. We get so many wonderful customer reviews, and I want to thank you for those, and thank you for all of your support for us too. Real quick, the Mr. Rebounder app. We're really excited about the app. The app itself is done. They're doing the landing page right now. They start tomorrow morning on that, but they've been working on getting the landing page and then a little demo page. And they are also working on getting the app implemented within the new website. And we should have more information on that on Wednesday. But I've had to learn how to just say, okay, guys, let's just get it done.
Patience has been tested and tried.
Yes, it has. But it's going to be good. I really like it. I think it's going to be a great app, and it's going to have, again, over 30 different pre-made routines that you can choose from, beginning, intermediate, advanced, and a section for seniors. We'll add more to it. You'll be able to clone a particular routine, and you can make changes to it. You can add more movements. You can go faster or slower, change the music, change the background, depending on how what your mood is. And then you can keep track of how you're doing as well. Okay, this is from Sue. Sue writes, I used a rebounder bought at a yard sale for a few years before taking the plunge. It had several things on it that made me think that it may have been an old Cellerciser, but no logo. The big difference is the mat. No pronation on the Cellerciser and a nice smooth bounce. Glad I decided to spend the extra funds. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate it. And we can't recommend our exercises on another unit. You may have one, and you can test it. Just be careful. We designed the Cellerciser for exercise purposes, and not for tricks or just bouncing high. It's literally supporting your feet, and then we have specific movements designed to address specific issues, whether they're foot problems, ankle problems, knee problems, hip problems, back problems, or shoulder issues. Gina writes, on a side note, I just sold my sister on getting one. Here's how it went. She says, me, try my Cellerciser. You can't believe how much better it is than those cheaper trampolines. Sister, bounces on it for about 20 seconds. Sister, wow, this is amazing. Me, Gina, she says, it was kind of expensive, but worth it. Sister, I'm getting one. We need to get mom one and our brother for when he is recovering from his cancer. And thank you, Gina. Thanks for your support. One last one says this is from Vicky. This is an excellent piece of equipment for the whole family. Our grandchildren use it as well as my 90-year-old mother. She was excited when she first got on the Cellerciser because her joints didn't hurt. Thank you, Dave. And thank you, Vicky. And thank you all for sharing and being a part of the Cellercise family and team. Okay, so questions that people have.
I wanted to say hi to a few people. Yeah, Angelina, I'm okay. Oh my golly, I've managed to get some allergies that are draining.
Yep. Good. Okay.
And they're settling a little bit, and this has been helping.
Honestly, yeah. Go ahead and bounce.
When you answer, I'll be bouncing, okay?
Okay.
So, welcome a few other people that have joined us. We have a few. Barbara just came on, which I've loved. We've got Mary on there. We've got Carolyn, Sally, and Stephanie are with us. Welcome. Let's get to our questions because we want to get to the topic at hand tonight.
Can you read them while you're bouncing? I'm serious. It makes a huge difference. It really does. It makes a difference.
Okay, maybe I can. Okay. If I do more than 10 minutes a day with the weight loss, will the weight loss slow because of the muscle gain?
Well, yeah, you don't want to be as concerned about weight loss when you first begin as you do about inches. Because as your muscle to fat ratio increases, then the weight's going to be coming off. But yes, muscle does weigh more. We just had a lady who called me up a little bit earlier today who'd lost 16 inches. She's been doing it for several months now and just ecstatic about it. And I said, well, would you write it so I could share it with our family today? She says, oh no, I'm not done yet. I'm just getting started. She says, I'm keeping a whole journal and you're going to get the whole journal. I said, okay, that sounds great, but thank you.
That sounds fair, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, can you speak to the topic of pronation or supination of the feet and ankles and any consideration when Cellercising?
Yeah,
that's probably where you need to.
There you go.
I'll trade you.
Okay, and for those who've been saying I needed to wear socks that are a little different color, I don't know if they can see this on the screen or not, but pronation. Okay, there's several things. Number one, movement up and down is going to help to naturally realign the body. Muscles that are tense will start to loosen. Muscles that are loose will start to tighten. If the hips are out of alignment a little bit and you're moving up and down equally, they start to drop. The body starts to take on a different alignment because you're not favoring one side of the body over the other when you're Cellercising. It's equal. But to expedite that whole process, you can do where you hold your feet in the proper position, bend your knees over the feet a little bit. You may feel a little stretch. That's okay. And when you're in this position, holding it, you want to push back down into the mat with your feet. Try to keep your knees over your feet, and you'll start to build up the alignment and the strength of the muscles and ligaments so that when you start to do more movements, and again, you want to be conscious of the feet, those muscles will start to move to support your natural alignment and strengthen the alignment of the feet over the knees, or the knees over the feet, which is going to be helpful too.
Okay. All right.
Want to Cellercise? Keep going.
I need eyeballs if we're going to do that one. They're getting better. I've actually noticed that my vision, I need to get in and do another vision exam. I have actually really bad vision.
Yeah.
Like it's like.
I wouldn't know that.
It's minus, like, if you go 20/20 and the higher the number, the worse it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's 800 over 20.
Oh, wow.
So
really?
It's pretty bad.
Okay.
And I have noticed that I do not need to use my readers at work. And I used to all the time. So there has been some improvement.
And keep in mind, your eyes are expanding and contracting too, because they're weightless weight while you're pumping circulation. So that can help increase the flexibility of the eyes as well.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, this was about that video that was posted about that sweet little mother that's 97.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
Good.
So it says, while the group, they're wondering if that's really beneficial, where the mom's on the Cellerciser and they're using their foot to bounce her, or even, let's see, it says, if you stand or sit on the Cellerciser while another person bounces to it with their foot, is there benefit to that?
Dramatic benefit. Keep in mind, the cells don't know the difference. You can be sitting on it, you can be in a wheelchair and have your feet on it. When you're moving up and down, the pumping action helps to move circulation through the one-way valves, through the whole body, because of the pressure changes. And that's excellent, it's wonderful. If they're sitting on it and you're bouncing for them, their cells are still weightless weight. We have people that have neuropathy or people that have other issues and conditions where the Cellercise can help mitigate that by creating a weight-bearing exercise at the cellular level, not just muscles, even though nerves may be damaged. The circulation and the weight-bearing activity of Cellercise on that tissue can help promote greater health and circulation. So.
Okay. I am feeling much better, thank you.
Good.
Okay, is there such a thing as too much bouncing in one day? I know we've talked about this, but this one was kind of interesting. There are days that I bounce for an hour, if not more, either one long workout or broken up throughout the day, which is wonderful right there. I don't feel like I'm pushing myself too far, but I really she wants your opinion.
You know, when you get to a certain point and you've been Cellercising and the connective tissue and the fascia and the muscles and the circulation, and it's all moving and pumping and working collectively together, you can spend hours on it. When I used to do trade shows, I'd be at a trade show for 2.5 days. I'd be on that all day long. I'd be on and off showing and getting other people on it, but I would be on it all day long. The only thing it did was burn a lot of weight. But other than that, I was fine. So no, you can do it for hours. Once you get to a point where your body, the circulation and the tissue, is strong enough and to accommodate that. The movement up and down, it's so natural. That's something people need to realize. Again, babies jump up down in the crib, they jump on a couch or a bed, anywhere in the world. The Watusis, Zulus, the Aborigines, they're bouncing up and down around the fire. The bouncing up and down is very, very important. And most people in our culture today, they don't get enough bouncing up and down. They live a horizontal existence all day long. Gravity's always pulling down. Internal organs and connective tissues get weak, and so they start to drop, and we buy into that. We say, well, it's just part of the aging process. Cells don't get old. And Saturday, I went rollerblading.
You were good.
I did. I went rollerblading with my daughter, and it was her birthday, 13th birthday, and we got some video of it. So I'm going to edit some of that, and so it's not so long, and show you. But when I started off, we didn't grow up my age group. We didn't grow up with rollerbladers. We had skates, and I remember skating, but I wanted to do the rollerblading. So you'll see me start off, and it was kind of tentative, but after an hour or so of rollerblading, I was out there spinning around and going backwards and just experimenting and trying different things. And it absolutely amazes me the kind of balance that we can have when we Cellercise. And it is utilized in everything you do. Your balance, your reflexes, your timing, your speed, your coordination, it's there because you're challenging it in ways the average person doesn't when you Cellercise. So I'll let you be the judge, but we'll get some of that video out there so you can see me and my son. It was his very first day ever on rollerblades. And I'm proud of him. He was doing all right. He really was. So
fun. That'll be fun to put that out there.
Yeah.
All right. Any advice to someone suffering from tinnitus?
Yeah, tinnitus. We don't have a lot of data on that. I know that the movement up and down moves fluid past the stirrup, the smallest bone of the ear, and there's crystals in the ear that can help settle and move. And we have had people who tell us that yes, their hearing has improved, or yes, they're not as dizzy anymore from vertigo, things like that. But I don't have anything on that. If it's related to stress or tension in the jaw, it can be in the, if people have had whiplash, issues like that can create ringing in the ears. And there's getting a upper cervical adjustment with the Atlas can be helpful. Massaging, especially around the jaw area as well as while you're bouncing, that can also release and increase circulation. There's also pressure points around the head that you can feel while you're bouncing up and down, and sometimes massaging that will release it's like a stored energy in that area, and it can release it. People that have chronic headaches or migraines, I've shared a technique which is same purpose, open up circulation, where you're massaging directly underneath where your skull attaches to the atlas, the upper cervical, and you push right up in there while you're gently bouncing to move circulation. And I'd love to hear it back. So if you have any experiences with that and you'd like to share some of those, like others have, feel free. I'm not sure if I have anything on our website with regards to tinnitus. We might. But yeah, we can look for that.
Okay. We've had quite a few people requesting a distributor in the UK, so why don't you talk to them a little bit about why we don't have one there?
Yeah, the UK, Australia, Canada, Europe. I wish I could help Vitor in Portugal. We have a need. We have had a need for a long time for a distributor, and it's a great opportunity. It's a phenomenal opportunity because we have people buying from Europe every single day, and it would certainly be nice if we had a distributor in Europe that we could work with, and as a master distributor. There's opportunity there. We don't have a distributor yet, but if we could import a 20-foot container of units there, and they'd be a master distributor that could help us set up other distributors in the area and represent the Cellerciser, we'd love to support it. But we do have that need. So thank you for asking. It comes up quite often. We have been looking. We have not yet found somebody who's capable or qualified to represent Cellercise Europe right now, or Great Britain. But that opportunity is available if you know of anybody who's entrepreneurial, who would like to work with us. So,
thank you.
You bet.
Okay. I know you covered the jaw once before, but if you could please spend a second on it tonight. They have their son watching. Lately, he can't close one side of his jaw all the way. I have a Cellercise, and I told him to come for a visit to try mine and heal his jaw.
Okay. All right.
Here,
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. One of the things would be, again, ask your doctor what's causing it. And I don't know what it is. So I'm not here to give medical advice, but I am here to talk about techniques that have been helpful for other people. And you can always consult with your doctor. But taking your fingertips, and we know people that this has been successful for. So taking your fingertips and massaging those muscles around the jaw while you're bouncing up and down. And you'll have, again, those little pressure point areas that you can feel. And if you feel a little tension in that area, you've hit a spot where you can massage it. And it's all over the back area of the jaw. So as you open it, you get to a certain point where you can feel that mandible kind of open. You can hit that spot with your fingertips while you're moving up and down. The moving up and down moves fluid, constant moving of fluid, and expanding and contracting at a cellular level. You're weightless, while you're also assisting it with your fingertips. And that has proven to be very helpful to a great many people. And I think it's something that we need to, again, share with more people. So thank you for asking the question.
Okay. Is it true that bouncing with a tummy full of water can bring the stomach down to its normal position? For us who sit for many hours a day have hiatal hernia issues because of our position. The stomach is being pushed upwards and causes the little flap to stay open, which causes burping, etc.
Well, it sounds reasonable, but
Right.
we don't have a lot. We don't have a lot on that, Christine. But again, movement up and down in and of itself can help everything tighten and tone. It kind of finds its place within the cavity, and the connective tissues then start to firm up to hold it in place. People who are very weak or have hernia issues here in the lower abdominals, you can actually support the area with your fingertip while you're moving up and down, or sit down on the Cellerciser and sit back slightly so you don't have the vertical movement up and down, and support yourself again doing it like this, or lifting a leg up to really strengthen the lower abdominals, lift your other leg, and etc. But those
I do that when it works.
yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It works, yeah.
Very good.
It works.
Hopefully that'll be helpful.
Yeah. All right. In reference to bouncing multiple times a day to rev up the metabolism, how many minutes do you recommend? And it's the Jamba and the fast run.
Yeah, you want to lose weight, you want to lose weight faster. Okay, we want to increase metabolic processes, not just do a long exercise routine. So a lot of us don't have time to do a long exercise routine. But if we can do short periods of time where it's very intense, every time we do that, our metabolic processes increase and they slowly come down. So as we can do several of these movements during the course of the day or every hour if we can, then it's going to increase our overall results. So standing on the Cellerciser again, as Christine was mentioning, if the Jamba runs, that's a tough one, but it's very, very effective. And if you do repetitions of this or do a few of them within a minute, that's great. So it's just like that. That's a great aerobic activity. You're sitting back on the heels of your feet some so that you keep the weight on the thighs. And then, as you mentioned, the sprinting one, running fast will do it. Running fast when you tilt backwards a little bit will focus more on the abdominals. So they're both very good routines. But that's a good one. This one is also good. You're tilting backwards and it's focusing the effect more on the stomach. You'll go a little slower, but they're both very good.
Okay. All right. Okay. My stepson Max was involved in a near-fatal motorcycle accident last summer. Thankfully his brain, he was 19 years old, so thankfully his brain and organs were unharmed. He's very lucky to be alive, but almost all of his limbs are metal now. He has a couple of surgeries to go. He does have a lot of hip pain. He received shots for this. They found that one leg appears to be slightly longer than the other. She's hoping Cellercise will help him. His therapists have not said, but her gut feeling says that it will.
Okay.
So,
and my personal experience has been for me to follow my gut feeling, but I can't prescribe that. There are things that you can do that can be helpful. Having him sit down on the Cellerciser while you bounce up and down initially, so you can regulate the amount of weight if he has trouble, especially if one leg's a little shorter than the other. Often that occurs as a result of curvature, whether it's in the spine or if the hips are out of alignment a little bit. And standing on the Cellerciser over time can help the hips drop. When you work with a chiropractor, they make an adjustment. The muscles are not used to the new alignment. So right after a chiropractic adjustment, when appropriate, gently bouncing up and down causes the muscles to flex around the new alignment. It holds the alignment longer and expedites that whole healing process. We work a great deal with chiropractors, and the Cellerciser has been a great adjunct to what they do, because often they don't have time to really work on building up the muscles to support the new alignment. But the Cellerciser can do that for them. So I don't know if you can do any twisting at this point with all the surgeries you've had and not knowing where the nerves are. But another great movement is to lie down on the Cellerciser and have someone else stand over you. And we shared this in one of our previous videos, but they gently move up and down, and it takes all the vertical pressure off of the disc and off the nerves. So laying down horizontally, you're getting a very deep massage, not a surface massage. So it helps to increase that circulation to reduce inflammation, promote faster healing, and it's also weight bearing, very gentle weight bearing to help promote strength.
Okay. All right. We're on to our topic this week, the break.
Okay.
How the Cellerciser helps with that. And I know that you brought a couple of pieces of documentation for us.
You know something, it amazes me that more people don't really grasp. I know you do, but I don't understand why the world, we're limited. Okay, we're limited in our ability to get the message out to the public. When you stop to think, how many people today are having brain issues that didn't even exist 30, 50, 80 years ago? It didn't exist. But it's almost epidemic today, and you have to ask yourself, what's going on? Why are we doing this? And what can we do to avoid the ravages? And it is ravaging. I mean, it's a hideous disease that we're having to deal with today when we think in terms of Alzheimer's or dementia, and what that does to individuals, to their dignity, to their families, to the challenges. And then you think of Cellercise. Cellercise is a movement up and down that moves blood and circulation through the one-way valves right back to the brain, right back to the head. Walking around like this day after day, in our culture, and we've seen this, and we've talked a little bit about this, the blood cells become sticky when the body becomes more acidic. And when it becomes sticky, it's hard for the body to move sticky blood cells through small capillaries. We get on a Cellercise and we start to move up and down. In 3 to 5 minutes, we've seen almost miraculous changes in the blood chemistry of people. Because as they move up and down, the blood cells are expanding and contracting with weight on them. They're weightless, weightless, weight. And the blood cells, when they're sticky, they lose circulation. They don't have access to oxygen and nutrients, especially the ones toward the center. And so the blood cells, without the fluid, they start to get a little deformed and they shrink. You get on a Cellerciser, 3 to 5 minutes, and the blood cells have a sodium-potassium pump. They're positive and negatively charged. And as you move up and down, the blood cells expand and contract, creating a field of energy around themselves that separate them from each other. But we've also seen the character of the blood cells, because the movement up and down helps to imbibe the cells with more fluid. So instead of being kind of deformed, they become round, oxygenated, energized. And the movement up and down on the Cellerciser starts to move that circulation more effectively through those capillaries back to the brain. We need more research being done on a Cellerciser. It's amazing when I have a chance to work with somebody who's got multiple sclerosis, and we get them on a Cellerciser, and in 5 minutes, we see a huge difference often. So far, everyone I've worked with has, but I have to qualify it irrespective. But we've seen a dramatic change in their balance and strength and control That's huge. That should be researched. But in the interim, if you know somebody that has multiple sclerosis, hey, have them try it. Have them try the Cellerciser. See what happens to them. But the movement up and down challenges brain activity, but also activates the lymph system, the lymphatic system. Because when it gets clogged up, it's not circulating well, we have a whole myriad of conditions and issues that we end up dealing with because the immune system's been compromised. We start to move up and down. What is it that makes that huge difference? We don't know exactly, but we can see it, we can experience it, and check with your doctor. But I think it's critical. So this moving up and down helps move that fluid to all the extremities and areas of the body. But I took this little article from a blog by Dr. Andrew Weil. It just came this last week. And I wanted to read this to you. And then I'm going to read something that we put together over 20 years ago. Because we knew then. He says, a study of adults whose mean age was 53 concluded that each additional hour of light physical activity performed daily can slow brain aging by about 1.1 years. Researchers at Boston University School of Medicine determined that the number of steps walked per day by 2,354 participants in the long-running Framingham Heart Study had compared the results with their brain volume. Almost half of the participants met physical activity guidelines, averaging about 21 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity per day. The researchers reported that among those who didn't achieve physical activity guidelines, taking 7,500 steps or more daily was linked to a higher total brain volume, equal to about 1.4 to 2.2 years of less brain aging. Brain volume was even higher among those who walked 10,000 or more steps daily. Now, this is walking. We've also been told trampoline can be up to 11 times more efficient than walking. It goes on. The results suggest that we can slow brain aging with less intense exercise than previously thought. We have really only just begun to uncover the relationship between physical activity and brain health. And that was said by the study leader, Nicole L. Spartano, PhD, who emphasized the need to investigate the impact of physical activity on brain aging in different race, ethnic, and socioeconomic groups. And I'm going to say we need to do more research and investigation on the benefits of what this pumping action of this Cellerciser does. And remember, Cellerciser is not a typical rebounder. So many people often think, well, no, can't do that on a rebounder. Rebounders, when they use little tooth springs or have a jarring effect, they don't work anything like the Cellerciser. This is a tridaptable spring design that creates G-forces, pumping and movement without a jarring effect. Dr. Will says, my take, this is very encouraging. A considerable amount of research has found that physical as well as mental exercise can benefit the brain as we age. Studies have shown that yoga, weightlifting, and aerobic exercise all help. An investigation from the University of Canberra in Australia published in 2017 suggested that a combination of aerobic exercise and strength training resistance exercise, remember this is weight-bearing resistance exercise, it's on everything, can have significant positive effects even if you're over 50. 20 years ago, literally 20 years ago, this is dated May 9th, 1999. So we're coming up to May 9th, 1999. I worked with a doctor and explained the benefits of Cellercise, and he himself went through and experienced it for quite a period of time before he wrote this letter. And in this letter he says, Dave Hall has amplified upon this. Oh, let me go back to the beginning. He's talking about kinetic motion is absolutely imperative and necessary for the true health of individuals. When movements of joints and articulations become compromised through sedentary lifestyle, trauma, stress, poor nutrition, poor posture, and the aging process itself, then a host of physical problems ensue. Dave Hall has amplified upon this well-known concept of kinetic energy and movement. and has taken it to an even deeper level of application, that of a cellular level of motion. His Cellercise system employs concepts of biomechanics and kinetics that will be most helpful to people of all ages. It is known that 90% of brain's active energy is expended on calculations and minor corrections and balancing and knowing where the body is in space at any given moment in time. Up to 90% of brain activity is being stimulated. Only 10% of the brain's activity is used in actual cognitive or thinking functions. It's important we talk about this because I'm going to introduce something else that needs more research done to it. The reality truly demonstrates the importance that the brain places on knowing how every part of the body is moving and what position it is in. This also eliminates how much fatigue and dysfunction result in a person when the mechanics or the body are not in balance. For those of you who already know, Cellercise creates an enormous amount of balance and strength, both physically and chemically in the body. Our society today would be much more vibrant, healthy, and full of vitality if they paid more attention to getting enough kinetic exercise in any given day. Dave Hall's Cellercise system is very proficient at focusing on this goal. Health and wellness will be the result of such activity if properly and consistently applied. Okay, so if we know that up to 90% of the brain is being stimulated and only 10% is dealing with cognitive exercises, then why is it that so many children that have dyslexia have a hard time reading? When they're Cellercising and bouncing up and down and doing different movements and reading something, they can read it. And we've had people who have been working at retraining the brain, which we know we can do, through these different movements while they're reading. What are the potential implications for somebody else somebody who's getting older, who has memory issues, when we're moving up and down on the Cellerciser and we're stimulating brain activity and brain function? Why is it that when people are memorizing things and studying, for example, or memorizing, while they're on the Cellerciser, they're able to memorize faster and retain longer? Why is that? What is it about Cellercise that is causing the brain itself to fire at a higher level or to be able to retain information longer? Those are questions that really need to be addressed more. And in the interim, for those of you who are students who are studying or learning and need to memorize various different things, I suggest trying it. Just give it a try. Try doing it, reading it, saying it out loud, visualizing it, those three things, while you're bouncing. See, there's a chemical process occurring within the brain when we use it. And as we're moving up and down, is that chemical process leaving a strong impression at the bottom of the bounce? I suggest it is, but we need more research done. So I suggest, that we continue to get the word out, let more and more people experience it, have them share their results with others, and eventually we'll create enough interest that more research will be done on it. But when we think of our aging population, the conditions that we are having to deal with today, and in brain activity, I don't think is optional. I think it's essential, personally, that everybody get on the Cellercise every day, at least for a short period of time, to increase that circulation to the body extremities and areas, break up the blockages, open up the lymphatic circulation, stimulate the proprioceptors. And there's so much of that's occurring while we Cellercise.
Okay. Look at that.
Get on the Cellerciser.
Yeah, like literally. I'm having issues, friends.
No, keep Cellercising.
Sorry.
It'll be fine. Good.
There were some questions that came across that we've answered in previous episodes. So
yes,
we'll get that posted out there for them so that they can have those answers.
Okay.
There was one other quick little question that came across. When you sit and you do the ab exercises when you're sitting, there's one little gal that says she gets rather sore. Why would that?
Where?
Is she in her abs?
Oh, yeah.
In her abs. Is that typical? If she's going too long, or what would you suggest?
one of the taglines that we use now with Cellercise, why work out when you can play in? Cellercise is fun. If you're working too hard at it, initially, you might feel it there. It's just an area that's going to get stronger. You don't have to work hard on a Cellerciser. You play on it. It works hard on you. When you start off, and that's just exposing weakness. When you sit down on a Cellerciser, and if you take it, too fast, well, you're going to work those areas of the body more intensely, and they're going to have to adapt, but it's going to expose weaknesses in the body. The neat thing about Cellercise is you're not tearing down to build up. You're not doing abrupt, hard aerobic impact activities. You're eliminating up to 7/8 of the ballistic impact compared to running on a hard surface. So you're getting all these benefits, but without the detriments that can be tearing down. So because Cellercise is very effective, it's also very gentle. We can generally do it every day, several times a day if we want. But if we notice an area that might be a little weak or a little sore, if we have a little lactic acid that's built up into it, then one of the movements that we can do on the Cellerciser to help with that is just do the gentle twist. As you gently twist and you're moving up and down, you're taking all these muscles here and you're stimulating more circulation to that area. And that increase of circulation can help promote better circulation and faster healing to that area as well. But if you do get sore, if you do it initially, it's common because you're working. I'll tell you a story. Kalahani. Haven't thought of him for many years. Good guy, great guy. I was on the National Health Federation in Pasadena, California one year. And I was talking about how Cellercise works and how you build up the stomach muscles and all these, you can build them up. And Kalahani was standing there. He's towering over everybody. Great big guy, kind of like the Rock. And he's got his arms folded, massive chest. And this girl pulls on his shirt and looks up at him and says, "Do you believe him?" And Kalahani says, "No, you're not going to get muscles like that bouncing on a Cellerciser, bouncing on that thing." And I said, "Oh, great." I love skeptics. I said, "Can I get you to come up here? Let me show you what happens to the stomach muscles." And he agreed. So I got Kalahani up on the Cellerciser. He's holding on to the balance bar. I said, "Okay, now jog. Now I want you to tilt backwards and feel your stomach muscles. Feel them working? Feel how tight they are?" "Oh, yeah, I do." "Okay, now we're going to add more leverage." I said, "Kick your legs out. Feel how tight it is?" Yeah, I do." "Okay, now let's work on the waist and the hips." So I had him go through all these various different movements, and he wouldn't get off. All day long, Kalahani was on that thing all day long. And I wasn't about to argue with him. So I used him. I said, "Okay, Kalahani, show us how to do it. This other movement, show us how to do this." So people were coming by and I was having Kalahani do this for me. Well, it's what I would normally do. 2 days later, I get a phone call from Kalahani. He says, "David, what in the world is that thing? I haven't been this sore in years, and I'm in good shape." I said, "Kalahani, you worked muscles at a cellular level you haven't worked in years." Kalahani became one of my biggest fans and proponents of the Cellerciser. I think it was in Santa Monica, California, and he would take it out to the beach, and he would Cellercise, and became an evangelist for us, and I've always appreciated him for that. But yeah, it works. And if you overdo it initially, yeah, you might feel it. But the neat thing about Cellercise is that within a very short period of time, you don't get sore like you do with typical exercise because the lymphatic system is opened up. Circulation's much better. You reduce the inflammation as you're working the muscles and you increase circulation to that tissue so it promotes faster healing. Now we know even with bodybuilders that if they incorporate 30 seconds of Cellercise in between their weight circuit or each station, 30 seconds between each station or circuit, they can grow in their overall results up to 26% faster. That's huge. That is huge because it flushes out the lactic acid very quickly, increases circulation to help promote faster healing. And when you get off the Cellerciser, you are stronger than you would be if you hadn't been on the Cellerciser. So you can lift more weight or do more repetitions. And we've shown that to be true too. So.
Okay.
Good.
All righty. We're at the end of our...
All right.
I'm doing great.
Yeah,
But
in fact...
But I think people have... we're all doing this together. I've noticed Anna on here said in the last month she's lost 9 pounds.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Vitor posted a picture of him showing his muscles.
Yeah, I saw that.
But that was all Cellercise, okay?
Yep.
Sally and Stephanie have done the same thing, saying, we tried this. This, all you need is the Cellerciser 10 minutes a day. They've a huge inspiration to me, huge inspiration to other people. So thank you for posting those things for us because we wouldn't know otherwise.
And we've got the twins out there, and
Sally and Stephanie, and amazing. Just watching them post from their beginning to now.
Isn't that something?
Absolute amazing journey that they have been on, and I'm truly inspired by them.
Yeah,
I'm doing great. Got this little bit of a lung issue that I've got.
You sound better already, though.
Oh, by far. Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I had no voice this morning.
I know.
I walked in and you were like, what in the world?
I know.
You folks, you saw it firsthand.
I'm telling you, it works.
I
really works.
thought, how am I going to get through this? Because I started coughing, and last night was horrible. Instead of tripping over my Cellerciser to go get a drink of water, I should have jumped on it.
Yep, that's right.
Which is exactly what I will do tonight.
Good.
Before I go to bed, and then if I have any problems tonight. So I'm doing great. I love my routine. I'm feeling... I'm so grateful we're taking a trifold with us to Hawaii. Which brings me to this. We will not be live next Monday, and I am going to be the culprit apologizer for that. Taking a vacation with my husband, which we haven't been on in a while, and much needed for us to have a bit of a break. Semester ends. I got my last final tomorrow, so it's my psych one that I told you, and I will be studying my psych tonight.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Good.
let you know how it goes.
Right.
And we won't be here next Monday, so I apologize to everybody for that. But we'll be flying in the next Monday, and we'll be here.
Well, you enjoy Kauai. That's one of my favorite islands, no question.
We're really excited to be going.
Good.
So I'll just post on there what my routine is and let people know if they're following along. But I haven't really changed up much of it because it seems to really be working. And it's pretty much incorporated almost everything that you've have us doing anyway. So
good. All right. Well, next time you're here, I'd like you to kind of go through some of the things you're doing.
Yeah, I would love to.
Good.
I will wear something more appropriate for that.
We'll do it.
And we'll be ready to go. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. And if you have found anything beneficial that you feel that you need to share it. Okay, go with that gut instinct, right?
There you go.
Share it. It has been a super fun experience for me. I've enjoyed sharing it with so many other people. I've had even people ask me, how do you keep up? And I'm like, I am keeping up. In fact, we went to a movie the other night, and all our friends said they were too tired to go, and we weren't.
was that the
the drive-in?
The what is it?
How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They let the college kids come, and unfortunately, fortunately, I'm a college kid.
Yeah, there you go.
And so we went, and it was fun, and it was youthful. It's fun to be around the kids. But anyway, so. Yeah.
Thanks for saying.
I will do that next time.
Remember, Cellercise is for everybody. I don't care if you're just a young baby and you're having that moving up and down, or if you're in your 90s or over 100. Cellercise cells don't get old. They're always replacing themselves. So we can stimulate and improve the strength and efficiency of a cell at any age. And as we start to strengthen and improve the efficiency of our cells, we do the same thing with our body parts and functions. So enjoy your Cellercise, keep sharing, and pass on the message. Why work out when you can play in? Thank you very much.
Thank you.